In an entertainment industry notorious for relationships that burn bright and fade quickly, where people are often pushed aside in the race for the spotlight, the friendship between Tom Selleck, 81, and Sam Elliott, 82, is truly remarkable. It is not a relationship flaunted across headlines, nor a partnership built for commercial gain, but a natural and profound bond so deep that both men often respond with nothing more than an awkward smile when asked to explain it. They are two icons of the Western genre, men who carry the rugged spirit of the open land and the integrity of individuals who live by their own code. Their friendship has endured for nearly 6 decades, surviving the highs and lows of an entire lifetime, from their days as unknown supporting actors struggling to find opportunities to becoming towering figures in the public imagination. Perhaps what has kept them so closely connected for so long has little to do with fame or career success, and everything to do with the harmony of their character. Both men value quiet living, cherish life on the ranch, and above all, maintain an unwavering belief in professional integrity, a quality that has become increasingly rare in modern Hollywood. While the world around them has changed at a relentless pace, everything between Tom and Sam has remained much the same as it was when they first met on the dusty film sets of the 1960s. Today, we will not only look back on their careers, but also explore how these two men have guided, comforted, and protected one another through the storms of fame and aging. To understand the depth of the bond between Tom Selleck and Sam Elliott, we must go back to 1969, when both were still young men carrying great ambitions as well as fears about an uncertain future. At the time, Tom Selleck was a young man from Detroit who had just left the basketball court at USC to step into a world of soap commercial lights and minor supporting roles. Tom was not a star born at the finish line. He was a man who constantly questioned whether he had enough talent to survive in such a fiercely competitive world. At an audition of the Western series Lancer, while other actors exaggerated their horseback riding abilities to impress the producers, Tom chose a different path, an awkward but genuine honesty. He openly admitted, "I can't ride a horse, but I'm willing to learn." That honesty would later become one of the defining qualities of the Tom Selleck the world came to know. On the other side of the audition room stood Sam Elliott, already carrying an entirely different presence. Although he too was just a newcomer, Sam possessed the calm confidence and natural bearing of a true Western star. With deep-set eyes, a warm voice that echoed like wind through a canyon, and his trademark moustache, Sam seemed almost like a living monument. When Tom first saw him, he felt no jealousy. Instead, he felt a profound admiration, the kind reserved for someone who embodied the person he hoped to become. The two first crossed paths in the episode Deathbait. On the dusty, sun-scorched set of Lancer, they became more than fellow actors. A natural understanding developed between them. It was the understanding of two men who both knew what anonymity felt like, who shared inexpensive boxed meals after exhausting days of filming, and who dreamed of one day pursuing an artistic career without sacrificing their self-respect. Neither of them realized that this chance meeting would become far more than a polite handshake. It was the moment two kindred spirits found one another in the maze of Hollywood. In a world filled with empty promises, Tom and Sam found a source of stability in each other, a friend they knew would remain constant regardless of the passing years or the rise and fall of fame. It marked the beginning of a shared moral code, a philosophy they would later use to redefine the image of manhood on screen. No need for noise, no need for self-promotion. Steadfastness and decency alone were enough to create a legend. The road to the top was never a straight line, and for both Tom and Sam, the journey was marked by a series of bitter near misses, forcing them to learn how to keep a level head in the face of the harshest setbacks the acting profession could deliver. For Tom Selleck, the price of integrity was extraordinarily high. After serving in the California National Guard, he returned to a harsh reality. Every previous contract had vanished. His career had been reduced to absolute zero. There were moments when success seemed within arm's reach, such as when the legendary Mae West took him under her wing and described him as a new Cary Grant, yet fate repeatedly placed obstacles in his path. Who could forget that Tom came incredibly close to becoming Indiana Jones, one of the most iconic characters in film history, only to walk away because of contractual obligations to the series' magnum PI. It was a professional scar, a disappointment that would be difficult for any actor to overcome. Yet instead of dwelling on regret, Tom chose to devote himself fully to Magnum, transforming it into an enduring part of popular culture. Meanwhile, Sam Elliott followed a quieter and more enduring path. He never sought to become the center of attention. Sam understood that a man's worth was not measured by the number of leading roles he accumulated, but by the depth he brought to every character he portrayed. From Gunsmoke to Roadhouse, and later to legacy-defining performances in Tombstone and The Big Lebowski, Sam built his career through remarkable patience. He never raced against time. Instead, he allowed time to refine his calm presence and his unmistakable voice. What these two men shared was a refusal to let Hollywood tame them. Whenever they faced a choice between short-lived fame and personal principles, both consistently chose to remain faithful to their own paths. Their collaborations in adaptations of Louis L'Amour's novels, such as The Sacketts and The Shadow Riders, were more than simple acting performances. They represented the harmony of two souls who understood the pain of missed opportunities, the patience required when overlooked, and the pride of standing firm after enduring life's storms. Whenever one saw the other overcome a hardship, the response was not merely congratulations, but the deep understanding of a kindred friend. They learned that in this industry, true success is not measured by golden statues, but by being able, in old age, to look into the mirror and still recognize yourself, a person unchanged by pressure and unmoved by money. That is the foundation of their 60-year friendship, a bond forged through countless missed opportunities, so that, in the end, they could stand tall together like mighty trees in a Hollywood filled with fleeting distractions. As time passed, their hair turned silver and their steps were no longer as quick as they had been during their Lancer days. Yet the greatest challenge Tom Selleck and Sam Elliott faced was not dangerous scenes on horseback, but the cruelty of time and Hollywood's relentless cycle of replacing aging talent. In 2021, Sam Elliott astonished the world with his portrayal of Shea Brennan in 1883. At the age of 77, Sam was not merely acting. He poured his entire soul into the character, delivering a haunting performance filled with regret and courage. Tom Selleck, sitting before the screen watching his lifelong friend shine, could not hide his pride. He felt no jealousy towards Sam's late career acclaim. Instead, he saw it as a well-deserved reward for 60 years of dedication. But life is not always a succession of triumphs. In 2024, Tom Selleck's world was shaken. After 14 seasons together, Blue Bloods, the series he considered his second family, was cancelled by CBS. For a man who had spent his entire life building a career upon commitment and loyalty, the blow was more than the loss of a job. It felt like being cast aside by the very place to which he had devoted his energy and passion. Tom fell into a state of disappointment, a deep sadness that few outside the profession could truly understand. As Tom struggled with the emptiness left behind by the set, the telephone rang. It was Sam Elliott. There were no empty words of comfort and no lectures about how to move forward. Sam simply spoke from the wisdom of decades spent in the profession. In that familiar, deep and reassuring voice, Tom heard the understanding of a man who also knew what it meant to be overlooked, who understood the exhausting weight within an industry that often values youth above all else. Sam reminded his friend, "Tom, we are not defined by ratings or network contracts. We are storytellers, and our story is not over yet." That phone call did not bring Blue Bloods back, but it restored Tom's spirit. It reminded him of the shared moral code both men had preserved since the days when they were unknown young actors. They understood that westerns, the genre they both revered, had never truly been about guns or chases. They were about doing the right thing when everything around you seemed to be falling apart. In that moment, their friendship became something greater than the story of two film stars. It became the story of two older men who had journeyed through an entire era together, who had watched colleagues come and go, and who had protected one another's dignity through it all. They still make plans for the future, still dream of sitting on horseback once again side by side in a project guided by directors such as Taylor Sheridan. For as long as they possess their integrity and this friendship, they will remain timeless cowboys in a world that often feels increasingly indifferent. When looking back on 60 years together, what makes Tom Selleck and Sam Elliott remarkable is not merely the unforgettable roles they played, but the way they lived a Western life even after the cameras stopped rolling. In a Hollywood filled with superficial temptations, they built together a code of ethics, a moral blueprint they believe every man should possess. Kindness without display, marriages as solid as stone, and self-respect that cannot be bought. Both Tom and Sam are family men who found peace in the quiet life of ranches far removed from the glare of the spotlight. They never viewed acting as a means of becoming wealthy or powerful. For them, it was a way of telling stories about integrity. Their characters, from thoughtful lawmen to solitary gunslingers, shared one defining trait. They always chose to do what was right, even when it was the hardest and loneliest path. That steadfastness became the guiding principle of their friendship. In a world of deception, they chose honesty. In a world of betrayal, they remained loyal. Tom once shared that it was Sam who helped him understand that a man is not the strongest person, but the one who can persevere the longest. Neither of them needs to prove that to anyone, because 6 decades of standing side by side is proof enough. When speaking about the future, Tom's eyes still carry the spark of a young man. He still dreams of a screenplay of a wild western landscape where he and Sam once again ride together toward the horizon. It is not merely a desire to act, it is the desire to stand alongside a beloved brother in spirit in one final glorious chapter. The world may gradually forget names, faces, or even celebrated television series, but the legacy of Tom Selleck and Sam Elliott will remain as evidence of a simple truth. Fame fades, recognition diminishes, but a friendship built upon respect and integrity endures forever. They have lived, loved, and practiced their craft exactly as the heroes in their Western stories would have done, with open hearts, clean hands, and spirits that never surrender to mediocrity. We have now reached the end of this inspiring journey through the enduring friendship of Tom Selleck and Sam Elliott. Their bond is a beautiful reminder that amid life's many changes, sincerity remains the strongest foundation of all. Did this story leave you with a sense of warmth and inspiration? Share your thoughts and feelings in the comments below.